Hello, today we'll learn form controls and Activex controls in Excel, how they're helpful and what is the basic difference between them. Now, before that, just take an example. If you want to perform certain tasks in one worksheet, fine. Now, if there is one button, like for example, to save this Excel sheet, you have this save button. You click on it and it will ask for the first time, it will ask you the name and location of the file, and that's all, which is very easier. Also, it will be easier for those who do not have that much knowledge in Excel. Fine. Now, similarly, if you have some work and here you have some buttons, and if you want to perform that task, just click on that button, and that is all. So it is very easier for each and everyone. Okay, now here you can say form controls or ActiveX controls can help you. Fine. Now under your menu bar, you have this developer tab. If this developer tab is not appearing in your menu bar, then how to appear or how to enable this in your menu bar? You can see a video in which I explained how to activate this. I've kept the link in the description for your help. Now under developer tab, so I click on this drop down of this insert option. Now you can see you have form controls and you have ActiveX controls. Now in form controls you have different kinds of options, like you can create a button, a combo box. Similarly in ActiveX also you can have a command button, a combo box. Fine. Now I will take first form control, and in that I will take this button. Okay, and I will also explain what is the basic difference between the form controls and ActiveX control with the help of an example in it. Now I take this command button from form control, and wherever I want, I can just drag it. Okay, as soon as I drag and leave my mouse button, it asks you to assign a macro for this button. That is, what should be happen when this button is clicked. Now either you can give your macro, assign your macro to this button right now, as I select this macro one, my name of my macro. Okay, now how to create a macro? If you want to know that, I have kept a link in description for the same, in which I explain how to create a macros. Now here I just select my macro which I have already created. Click on OK. My button is created. Now I right click on it. After selecting this, I get this drop down menu. Now here you can, if you have not assigned the macros there, you can assign from here. Like click on assign macro, select the macro, and just click OK. Fine. Now let me. Okay. Now I get this box. Here you have form control. I click on form controls. Here you have different types of form controls. Like you can define the properties. Like I need the font face should be this. Just click on it and click form control. The face should be bold italic. Whatever the size you want to give. If you want to change the color, you can give that color. Fine. Similarly, you can align the text, like currently horizontally center, vertically also center. How it will appear, it is showing in here. From here you can change as per your requirement. If you want to change the size, you can change size from here. Okay, now I just click OK here. Now here I just single click and change the text, say macro. Now I click on outside anywhere. Fine. Currently I'm in normal mode. Now this is design mode, which we got. The design mode is which we are currently working. So if you click on design mode and now you click on, okay, you get this, and you can set the properties, whatever the properties you want to give. Fine. Similarly, margins, you can set what will be the left margin, what will be the right margin. Okay, whatever the properties you want to give of this, you can go give from this box. Okay, now I click on design mode back, so that I will not in design mode. Now I am click outside, I'm not in design mode. Now I select any of my cell and I click on this button. See, my basically macro was to highlight the selected cell with predefined things, like the background color should be yellow, and the text should be, if I write any text here, the text should be of red color, underline, bold, italic, kind of things. Fine. So whenever I select any cell and I click on this button, this macro will run for that cell. Okay. Now, take an example. We have done this with the help of, we have taken this button from form control. Now let's take Activex control. Now in Activex control, you have this command button. Similarly, you can click on it. You can drag the button anywhere. Fine. Now to view this property, to view this command button property, which is taken from Activex control, either you can click on, after selecting that button, you can click on this properties, or right click, go to this properties. If you take this form control, you can see you have having very less options here as compared to this. I right click here, I click on this properties. After selecting that, here you have many things. You can change the name of this button, that how this button should be called. Basically, I suggest that when you are creating a buttons, as an Activex control buttons, you can give the names as required, so that it is easier for you to remember that okay, this button is for this purpose, kind of things. Fine. Whatever the caption you can give, say I give format macro. Okay, and put a space here, and here I can give same thing, or I will just put in another word, macro format, kind of name. Fine. If you want to change the color, from here you can change the background color of this, any color you want. Okay, from here you can change different things, that how it will behave, the font. Find different things you can change as per your requirement. Now let's close this from here. Fine. If you select this button, this property is also same. Now how to assign that macro with this, so that if I click this button, whatever the cell is selected, that should be get this format. Now for that, either you have to double click on this button, you get this code window. Okay, or under developer tab, you have this visual basic, click on this, you get this developer, sorry, code window. Or you have this view code, you can click on this also, you get this. Now here, for example, you did not get any information and you get this blank page, you know that your button is in which sheet 1. Select that sheet, click on that sheet. From here, take the object. Now if you remember, I have given the name of that button as macro format. I click on it. I'm sorry. Now from here you can select the event. Now here, if you have taken Activex control, a button from an Activex control, now you can give different kind of events. Say for form control, there is only one event, click event. But here you can say, okay, you want this thing to be this macro should be called when you double click, or simple as single click, or different kind of events are there. So I say I want this thing to be happen when I double click. I will remove this. So I have selected the event that for this button, when I double click on that, what should be happen? I call the macro name. What is my macro name? Macro 1. and I go to my, from this sign I go to my Excel. Okay, I click anywhere, say I select this cell, right? Single click, nothing was happened. But as soon as I double click on it, see, the macro was called. So this is also one difference between form controls and Activex control. Like in form control, if you have taken a button, you can't select the event. It will be one single event, that is a click. But if you have taken a Activex control and you have taken a button, then you have different events for that. You can call your function or whatever you want to do as per your requirement, whether it will, you want that should be happen in within single click or double click and any other kinds of events which are provided in there. Okay, so with the help of form control, now you know that how it is easier, that if you want to perform certain tasks with the help of these buttons, it is self-explaining that okay, if you click on this, this macro will run. If you click on this macro will run, and that will do this kind of performance. So it is not necessary for each and every one person. You have to go and explain that okay, to do this thing, you have to call this macro or do this thing. A person can easily recognize that okay, we, if we want to do this thing, we have to click this button. Fine. So I hope now it is clear to you how form controls or activist controls helps and make your work easier, and also what is a basic difference between these two. So if you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel. Take care. Goodbye.